This is Dead or Alive 5. Last round. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So actually quite a fan of the Dead or Alive franchise. They're pretty fun games, especially fighting wise. And yeah, I was just kind of looking through the games that were available and I was like, oh, this would be really fun to dive into since it is one of those games that would benefit from the, well, PlayStation 5 Pro boost, right? Since it is a lower resolution threshold, but still a smooth frame rate and a pretty stellar experience. So like at its core, this is sort of like a free-to-play kind of game where you get like a core roster and then you kind of like can buy the larger quantity of characters. The sad thing on PlayStation at least is the more limited selection of Dead or Alive games. That is the one benefit, and it's the only fighting franchise I can actually think of that exists in the modern era in its entirety on a console, is Dead or Alive, but for the Xbox. They have all 6 of the Dead or Alive games on there, which is really, really quite cool. If you're into this franchise, you can see the whole thing kind of evolve, which is really, really quite exciting. As I am, like I said, I'm quite into the Dead or Alive games. I think they're pretty fun fighting games. And a little bit of a different combat style too. I think it's more of like a little bit like feet kind of kicking kind of stuff. And there's like tons of costumes for this game. It's ridiculous. I wish I had Dead or Alive, was it 6 as well? The other one that came out last gen? Yeah, I think it was like last gen. Apparently they're rebooting this series too, so there should be more Dead or Alive on the way, which is rather exciting. But anyways, yeah, what are we getting here? 1080p, 60 FPS. It looks really great. This was a game that did, I guess, kind of come out for PS3, and then they sort of did like an early, like I guess you would say PlayStation 4 era kind of release for this one, where they basically kind of bumped things up and made it look a little bit better. That's why it's got this like weird mix of like really well-designed, high-quality like characters. And I know like obviously the later fighting games look even better, but you gotta remember this is like well over a decade at this point, like well over a decade old at this point. And I still think this game actually looks pretty fantastic. Pretty cool music, good jiggle physics, great gorgeous looking characters. And as I was mentioning, with the PS5 Pro there, since it is 1080p and again 60 FPS, it does benefit from actually having like sharpened UI and stuff like that. It makes it just look a little bit more clean is kind of the thing. A little bit more aesthetically clean. Just so those like rough edges are a little smoother. There's quite a roster of characters in this game. I gotta say, there's actually quite a few. I think I remember playing Dead or Alive. See, I think 6 has even more. I actually kind of wish, yeah, like I was saying, I do kind of wish I had 6 available, because that one's pretty, I actually really like 6, yeah. Definitely had some technical issues, so it would be neat to see that smoothed out here on the Pro. Anyways, the game itself, a lot of different modes. Again, things are a little restricted if you're playing from the free-to-play perspective, but you can kind of jump in, fight with a bunch of characters. I usually just do quick play fights when I do fighter games. I don't really care about some of the other stuff. Like, they're just like story type things and different arcade like fighting modes and survivals. Like, there's just all the usual fighting modes and things. Like, this is recent enough where it does have a wide range of different combative options that you can enjoy. And, yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, the offering here. Great selection of different arenas for you to fight in, like quite a wide variety of them, very exotic, unique locations, some a little bit more indoorsy. And then on top of that, as I said, a massive roster of characters, and then an even more ridiculous selection of outfits. Because I'm assuming the idea was they make the game free, and then they just make tons of money off of outfits. And the fact that they went back to charging a premium price for 6 kind of makes me think that that didn't really work perfectly. But I don't know for sure. Yeah, I don't 100% know there, so kind of what we're doing in this one. That's the guy with the hood. Some of these outfits are ridiculous. I love it. We gotta fight in the forest. I think I'm supposed to usually do the traditional kind of characters in the forest. Like that's because this is like a long-term kind of map. Is that Fight! Remember that time they all went and they did those beach sports? Those were the days. Kind of weird that those ones aren't available for like Western audiences though. They're like... Dead or Alive was extreme too. I played that on 360. I think I have a video of it too on the channel. It's not even that bad. It's just a bunch of like Dead or Alive characters wearing like swimsuits going and like playing sports like volleyball and stuff like that. It's actually got like a great selection of aquatic sports if you think about it. But there's like light dating stuff in it or whatever. It's not even ridiculous. Like there was a casino I think too. Yeah, there's like a casino and you can gamble.
Don't look down on me just because I'm little.
Oh. Ba-da-ba-ba. This is such a big roster of characters. It's actually ridiculous. Men? Am I dead or alive? I don't think so. Hitomi. Danger zones off. We can fight in the middle of the desert. Oh, this one's like a not a construction zone, sorry, a war zone. You know, a little bit more dangerous than a construction zone is a war zone, am I right? Oh, and it all loads really fast too, which is nice.
You'll enjoy this, trust me.
You'll enjoy fighting in front of like a tank as like all this war stuff's going on. I love this game. Oh, it's so ridiculous. It does look really good though, like honestly, like it holds up pretty well. Wow. Nice move, Hitomi. Wow, that was a powerful kickback there. I also love that the PlayStation 5 controller, it's not too loud, so that like I can actually do fighting games without having to do audio afterwards. That's such a pain. Seriously, like the Xbox controller, it's like clankety clank 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 clank. And the PlayStation controller, it's like occasionally you might hear like a tap or something, but I think this game's pretty fun. It's a pretty good fighting game. I mean, I think at some point we should probably play as Hayabusa. Oh, Hayabusa! The legend! Okay, who haven't we played as? Christy? Or more like, who haven't we seen in the battle yet? See, there's like a ridiculous amount of costumes in this. The show? The Tiger Show. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Woo, the Tiger Show.
Now for business.
It's really well detailed, but it is kind of funny because it's like all these other characters just like the way they're dressed compared to... Look at all the tigers and stuff in the background. This is fantastic. Yeah, I love this game. Fight. Can't stop, right? Is that a giant tiger over there? Is it like a crowd, like a showman up there too? I want to kick him through the ring into the tiger. I love how the tiger is just watching this display of athleticism in combat. It's beautiful. Hayabusa! Of course not. No one would ever accuse you of having any weaknesses.
Okay, let's fight.
You carried this franchise. I can't believe this is such a long-running series, actually. You ever sit there and you're like, you play a fighting game, and then like years on, there's like 4 billion entries in it, and you're just like, where did the time go? Where did the years go by?